Welcome back. We're going to look at the principle of design rhythm. I went ahead and I wrote the definition out because it's kind of long and I don't want you to sit there watching me write the definition. You can always press pause and copy the definition as you see it. So, what is rhythm? It is the repetition of visual movement of the elements of art. Rhythm can be regular, and that is the repetition of elements that are the same or nearly the same in irregular sequences. It can also be irregular, there is no exact duplication. Staccato means repetitions that are abrupt and that change frequently. And progressive, when elements change in size as they progress or move across space. So let's take a look and see what does a regular rhythm look like. Now, if you were to think back to our previous lesson in pattern, we remember the idea of a regular pattern, and that would be pretty much the same thing. So let's make a regular pattern, because that will be the easiest type of design that we can make at this point. So this can be stripes, it can be anything that has a regular, repetitious type of look to it. So let's do something a little bit more exciting. We're going to make these diagonal lines. Now I'm going off my borders over here, but I can always go back and erase. I do that simply to make sure that my lines are looking like they are continuing off the edge of the paper or the edge of my border over here. So if you want to think of a regular rhythm as it would be found in music, you could think about the rhythmic beat of a drum, or as I have written over here, it is like the beat of your heart at rest. These are elements that are repeated in a predictable way, and they're consistent and regular throughout the composition. Usually this will convey consistency, visual monotony, no movement, no growth, no focus. So although you almost want to say that these are some negative connotations, it's actually useful. Oops, I messed up that. It's actually useful to have these moments or these artworks that have a bit of monotony in them. Okay, so if we were to take the same kind of idea, okay, so let's say that you want to create an irregular rhythm, but you still want to sort of keep this same checkerboard, the same kind of design going, but you want to create it in such a way that it has a bit more flow to it, smoothness, some kind of calmness and nurturing feel to it. So in that case, you could do something that is slightly more organic. So think about our organic shapes. And I would switch it up, as you know, because it's an irregular rhythm. One image that always comes to mind is a field of wheat in the summer, and the wind sort of like blowing through that field of wheat. I think the imagery is always stunning when you think about that. And it has this very beautiful flow to it. And then once again, you can do the same thing where you are shading. I don't know why it did that. I only wanted to go all the way up to this little point. Sometimes I feel like there are some glitches in this app. Maybe I need to update it or something. But you can see how the checkerboard design has suddenly transformed into something a little bit more exciting. Or it has a smoother kind of feel to it. It's not as rigid as the one above. Okay. Now, staccato rhythm, think about jazz. Think about a storm with thunder and lightning. So you have a bit of repetition. However, once in a while you have these moments where something happens that you didn't expect it to happen in the artwork. So one way to do that will be to let's make these very random lines like that. Okay. And still keeping in mind that idea of the checkerboard design. We can add some lines like that, and then we can color and see what happens. I always have so much fun with these designs. Oops, I put it in the wrong spot. There. So you can see abrupt changes. It's sort of like this craziness that's going on across the whole entire thing. But still, you have those straight lines going in the background. So you still have a bit of regularity with some craziness and irregularity happening all over the place. Now, progressive rhythm is rather more like, let's say, if you were to be listening to the train coming and going, you hear it approaching, so the sound of the train gets louder and louder and louder as it comes towards you, and then as it moves away from you, it gets less and less noisy, and you can hear it depart. You can hear less of it. Same thing with maybe a picket fence. If you were to look at a picket fence and you wanted to draw it, you will have what we call a vanishing point, and you will also notice that your pickets are going to get smaller and smaller, thinner and thinner. So you have this progressive type of look to it. That wasn't where I wanted it. Okay, and then you can shade these in. I need to zoom in a little bit so I can see where I'm putting my, might as well just go in and do that. Okay. So you can see that progressive change in size, where they're gradually increasing or decreasing, however you want to look at them. You can also do that this way, where you have everything going to a specific point. Okay. So there you are. These are the type of rhythms that you will see in an artwork, and these rhythms can be translated into color, not just into shapes. They can be translated with various elements, you know, a different kind of line work that you want to implement. You can add those in and repeat those lines in either as a regular rhythm, as an irregular rhythm, a staccato rhythm, or a progressive rhythm. Depends on how you want to approach this. So hopefully this gives you a little bit more insight into what rhythm is, and I will see you next time with more worksheets and more lessons. And until then, make sure that you complete these as well as you can. Thanks for watching.